Hey friends, Miss Cassie here with Solon Public Library's Digital Storytime. This month we're talking all about the ABCs, and this week we're going to talk about another kind of language, body language. But first we need to sing our welcome song, and we need to get our clapping hands ready. So we're going to wiggle our fingers and shake our hands and rub them together really fast, really fast, really fast, and put them on our knees. Okay, here we go. If you wanna read a book, clap your hands. If you wanna read a book, clap your hands. If you wanna read a book, have a seat and take a look. If you wanna read a book, clap your hands. What do we do after we clap our hands? That's right, we stomp our feet. If you wanna read a book, stomp your feet. If you wanna read a book, stomp your feet. If you wanna read a book, have a seat and take a look. If you wanna read a book, stomp your feet. What do we do after we stomp our feet? That's right, we twirl around. If you wanna read a book, twirl around. If you wanna read a book, twirl around. If you wanna read a book, have a seat and take a look. If you wanna read a book, twirl around. All right, for our last verse, we're gonna be as quiet as we can, and we're gonna whisper, hooray. If you wanna read a book, whisper hooray, hooray. If you wanna read a book, whisper hooray, hooray. If you wanna read a book, have a seat and take a look. If you wanna read a book, whisper hooray, hooray. Our theme song this month is ABCZYX. And if you want a refresher on how to do the letters of the alphabet, you can go back to our first story time for this month, and we talk a little bit more about the hand shapes and where your fingers and where your thumb go. But as a reminder, some of our other signs are, we're gonna do no, or you tap your head, sing, and then surprised will be at the end. Out loud, we're gonna say that that's not what you expected. And then and the sign that we're gonna do is gonna say, were you surprised? Okay, are you ready to sing the alphabet forwards and backwards? Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Now let's sing them backwards on 3. 1, 2, 3. Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, and G, F, E, D, C, B, and A. Phew! Now I've sung my ZYXs. Bet that's not what you expected. Yay! Good job, friends. That is tricky, and you did a great job. Our first book today is called Drawn Together, and it's written by Min Lee and illustrated by Dan Santat. And Dan Santat is a Caldecott medalist. That means that he is such a good illustrator that he has won awards. I bet you'll agree once you see these pictures that he's pretty talented. So this story is about a little boy and his grandpa. And they bow to each other and they wave goodbye to the little boy's mom. And the little boy comes in and they have dinner. And the grandpa has his noodles and hard-boiled egg and vegetables and meat. And the little boy has a hot dog and French fries and salad. The grandpa, do you see what he's eating with? Chopsticks. And the little boy is eating his salad with a fork. And he says, "So, what's new, Grandpa?" And the grandpa says something back, but the little boy can't understand. And they both are feeling a little disappointed and frustrated. So then they sit and they're watching TV, and there's a giant dragon and a fighter of some kind. And the grandpa asks the little boy a question, but he doesn't know what he said. And he asks, "Can we watch something else?" And the grandpa gives him a look. And the little boy gives his grandpa a look, and they keep watching what the grandpa wants to watch. So the little boy walks away from the TV, and he pulls out his backpack and some paper and some markers, and he starts to draw. And his grandpa comes over and looks at what he's doing, and then he has an idea. So he goes and he gets some of his own paper and some special pens, and he starts to draw too. And the little boy says, "Right when I gave up on talking, my grandfather surprised me by revealing a world beyond words. And in a flash, we see each other for the first time." So look, you can see the character that the little boy drew with the red hat and the magic wand. And you can see the character that his grandpa drew. Look at that warrior with that amazing helmet and special armor and his sword that is also an ink brush. And all the things we could never say come pouring out. So look, they are creating a world together. They're creating a story together, even though the languages that they speak are not the same. But they can use the pictures to tell a story that they can both understand. And they built a new world that even words can't describe. Look at all those colors. Look at all those shapes. That looks like an amazing adventure, doesn't it? But just when we're closer than ever, that old distance comes roaring back. And what does the distance look like in their story? Something that's keeping them apart. What in the picture is keeping the little boy and his grandpa apart from each other? Yeah, it's that dragon. Maybe it's the same dragon from the movie they were watching earlier. But this time, I'm not afraid. And the grandpa grabs the little boy's magic wand, and the little boy grabs the grandpa's ink brush, and they work together because I know that together we can make our way across. So look, with their special talents and their special drawing, they drew a bridge and they built a bridge to bring them closer together. And now, after years of searching for the right words, we find ourselves happily speechless. So what are the little boy and his grandpa doing now? Yeah, they're hugging can you give yourself a nice big hug? Or if you have someone with you who you love, ask their permission and see if you can give them a nice big hug. And yeah, that's one way that we communicate with people that we care about, that we love them, that we're happy that they're here with us, right? And that's how we communicate with our body, using body language, and we don't even need words to tell that to people. We can show them with our hugs. And so the little boy's mom comes to pick him back up, and they are so excited to see her. Grandpa, who's probably mom's dad, right? He gives her a big hug to show her that he loves her. And then he and the little boy wave their special artist tools. But look, they've switched. And the grandpa is holding the little boy's marker, and the little boy is holding the grandpa's ink brush. And the grandpa waves it as they drive away to say, until next time, until the next big adventure. So in our book that we just read, some of the body language that we saw were hugs to tell someone that you love them, and also waving to tell somebody goodbye, I'll see you next time. And another way that we can use our bodies to communicate is with our faces. And we have sung this song a couple of times, the If You Feel song, but it is one of my favorite songs because at the end we get to make silly faces. Blah! So we're gonna go through some of our different emotions and facial expressions. That's what it's called when your face communicates different things. And so the first one is, when we feel happy, we're going to smile wide, just like that. And when we feel sad, we're gonna frown and we're gonna cry, boo-hoo. And when we're mad, when we feel mad, we're gonna grit our teeth, just like that, kind of like you're the Hulk. You can also make some fists with your hands and your whole body can get tight, because that's what happens sometimes when we're just so mad and frustrated. And then when we're scared, we're gonna hide our faces. Maybe you'll peek out between your fingers. And then lastly, when we're feeling silly, we're gonna make some silly faces. Ah! You ready? All right, here we go. If you feel happy and you know it, smile wide. If you feel happy and you know it, smile wide. If you feel happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you feel happy and you know it, smile wide. If you feel sad and you know it, cry boo-hoo, boo-hoo. If you feel sad and you know it, cry boo-hoo, boo-hoo. If you feel sad and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you feel sad and you know it, cry boo-hoo, boo-hoo. But if you feel mad and you know it, grit your teeth. If you feel mad and you know it, grit your teeth. If you feel mad and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you feel mad and you know it, grit your teeth. Grr. But if you feel scared and you know it, hide your face. If you feel scared and you know it, hide your face. If you feel scared and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you feel scared and you know it, hide your face. If you feel silly and you know it, make a silly face. Wah! If you feel silly and you know it, make a silly face. Woo! If you feel silly and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you feel silly and you know it, make a silly face. Whee! Good job, friends. Those were some great silly faces. As humans, we use body language all the time, in addition to the words that we speak or the words that we sign. And did you know that animals can communicate with us with their body language too? Yeah, it's true. So I've got a puppy here, and you can see that he is holding himself in lots of different ways, and his body language is communicating important different things to us and also to other dogs. So we're going to play a little game where we are going to try to match the feeling that the dog is sharing with us with some pictures of people using their body language to send the same message. Does that make sense? I'll give you an example. So we are going to start with this first puppy friend. So if you can read, you can see what this emotion is. But if you can't read, try taking a guess. What do you think this puppy is feeling right now? Yeah, it looks like he's smiling. And just like humans, when dogs are smiling, it means they're happy. Now with dogs, it can also mean that they're hot, right? If they're smiling and they're panting, because dogs don't sweat. And so that's how they help cool their bodies down, is through panting. But this picture of this dog, he's happy. So we are going to look at our people's emotions and see if we can find a person who also looks happy. So let's take a look. What do you think? Does this person look happy? I think she looks mad. What about this person? Does she look happy? Let's put her next to the dog. Let's see. Do they look similar? Yeah, they do actually, don't they? They both look happy. Good job. All right, now let's see. What about this puppy? This puppy has his head turned to the side. Have you ever seen a dog do that? Sometimes you do something they don't understand, or they hear a noise that they don't know what it is, and they'll tilt their head like that. It means that they are curious. They are trying to figure out what is going on. And you know, as humans, we do that sometimes too, right? We go, what? So let's see if we can find a human that is also looking curious. So what do you think? Does this human look curious? I don't think so. She looks kind of scared, don't you think? Kind of nervous. What about this human? Does this human look curious? Nope, she looks like she's just about to give you a big hug, doesn't she? Not curious. What about this friend? Does she look curious? Yeah, I think she does. And look, she's got a little word bubble, like she's asking a question. She's not thinking it because it's a word bubble, it's not a thought bubble. But she's going, I have a question. I would like to know more about that. And that's what humans do when we're curious, isn't it? So look, we have a puppy who's curious and a human who's curious. Good job. All right, we've got 3 more puppies left. Let's see, what about this puppy? Oof, have you ever seen a dog do this before? Yeah, probably, right? Do you see how the dog, you can see the dog's teeth, and these lines mean the dog is barking. And can you also see their fur is standing up on end on their back? That's called their hackles, and their hackles are up. And that's one way that you can tell that dogs are on alert. And this dog, with all of these things, you can see the teeth, the barking, the hackles, and the quick movement, this dog is angry. Maybe he's defending his territory. Maybe another dog annoyed him and he turned around and now he's barking at that other dog to back off and leave him alone. But this is what an angry dog looks like. Do you think that we should try to go up and pet a dog when they look like this? When a dog is angry, just like a person, you want to give them their space and give them time to calm down. So let's see if we can find a picture of a person who looks angry. Let's see. Does this person look angry? Nope, She looks scared or nervous to me. What about this person? Does this person look angry? Yeah, she does. Look, her eyebrows are pointed down. She kind of has a frown on her face. And then those little like steam coming up. We use that in comics sometimes to mean angry, that you're kind of worked up, that your body's getting hotter and letting off steam because you're so frustrated and upset and angry. So let's see. Do humans and dogs look similar when they look angry? A little bit, right? I think if you could see the dog's eyebrows, they look like they're pointed down. But humans and dogs show their anger in a little bit of different ways. And that's good for us to know. Okay, we've got 2 puppies left. Let's do this one. So, how is this puppy standing? Yeah, this puppy has his head down and his ears are back. And his tail is tucked, and he's just kind of like curled into himself a little bit, right? Yeah, this puppy is feeling anxious, right? Or nervous, or maybe a little bit afraid. And do you think that we should go pet a dog when they look like this, if it's a dog we don't know? We don't want to pet a dog when it looks like this either, because you know what? An anxious dog, if they start to feel unsafe, can very quickly become an angry dog. So just like with an angry dog, an anxious dog, we want to give them space. We want to read their body language, and we want to let them find a place where they do feel safe and comfortable and less anxious. So let's see if we can find a person who looks anxious. Let's see, does this person look anxious to you? Do they look worried? No, this person looks very happy, don't they? They look like they're excited to see you. So not the same. What about this person? Does this person look anxious? Do they look nervous? Yeah, she does, doesn't she? She's covering her face, kind of like we did in the song where we covered our eyes when we were scared. And look, kind of like the puppy, she's kind of curled up her shoulders, right? She is kind of pulling her body in to protect herself, just like the puppy is. And then look, we have some little cartoon water droplets. Maybe that's sweat. Right? If you get really anxious and nervous, your body can heat up and you can start to sweat. And so that's what it looks like sometimes when a human is anxious and when a dog is anxious. Some things the same, some things a little different. All right, and then last but not least, we have this puppy. Do you know what it's called when a dog's body is doing this action? It's called a play bow. And you can see, look, the dog's tail is wagging, their front paws are down low, and their butt is up high, and their tongue is out. They've got a little smile, right? We know that from before. That means they're either happy or hot, or maybe both. And when you see a dog that's doing this, they're telling you, I'm friendly. I am ready to play. Now, some dogs can get a little rambunctious when they play, so it's always good to ask their grown-up if it's okay for you to play with them. But this is a dog who is excited to play. And so let's see, we've got one person left. What do you think? Does this person look like they're also saying, I'm friendly? Yeah, she is, right? Her arms are open wide. She also has a smile on her face, and she's happy to see you, just like this puppy is happy to see you too. Good job, friends. Did you learn some new things about dog body language? Yeah, these are important things for us to know because humans and dogs don't speak the same language. But if we know how to understand each other's body language, then we can have lots of good interactions with each other and give each other space when we need to. Our last book today is called A Kiss Means I Love You. What do you think? Is that true? Do you give people kisses who you love? Yeah, me too. So this book is written by Catherine Madeline Allen with photographs by Eric Futron. So there are no drawings in this book. It's all pictures of people. That's pretty cool. A kiss means I love you. A wave means hello. A smile means I'm happy. We knew that one. And a tug means let's go. That little girl is ready to go on to the next fun activity. Do you ever feel like that where you have to tug on your grown-up to move on? Yeah, we've all been there. A laugh. Can you do a nice big laugh? Ha, 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 ha. Can you feel it in your belly? Hoo, hoo, hoo. A little Santa laugh. A laugh means that's funny. And a cry means I'm sad. A yum means I liked that. And a pout means I'm mad. Can you scrunch your face up like she's doing? Yeah. Do you think maybe her teeth are gritted in there too? Grrr. Maybe. A cheer means I did it! Hooray! I am proud. Can you cheer for yourself? Hooray! Yay! Let's cheer for each other. Yay! Good job! That feels good, doesn't it? Feels good when you cheer for yourself, and it feels good when you cheer for other people. Oh, a shh means be quiet. That's a little too loud. Oh, sorry, friend. We were being a little loud. A shiver means I'm chilly. Please warm me up quick. And a sniffle, a sneeze, and a cough mean I'm sick. A roar means I'm scary. And a reach means let's share. Oh, I love that this friend is sharing his blocks. Sharing is caring, isn't it? A clap means I like it. Yay! And a hug means I care. A yawn. Can you do a nice big yawn? Oh, that turned into a real big yawn. A yawn means I'm sleepy. Please tuck me in tight. A kiss means I love you. I love you. Good night. Oh, and look, our friend is all tucked in bed. Good night. Shh. Okay, friends, that is the end of our body language story time. I hope you learned a couple new things and that you enjoyed the activities and the books that we read. Now, before we sing our goodbye song, we want to say thank you to the Solon Women's Club for sponsoring all of our March story times this year. The Solon Women's Club started the very first library in Solon, and we are so lucky to continue to have their support at the public library today. Thank you, Solon Women's Club. And now it's time for our goodbye song. We read a book, and we played a game, and we sang a song together. We read a book, and we played a game. We had a fun adventure. Now go read a book, and go play a game, and sing a little together. friends.